Welcome to Houston's newest interactive interview show. Gain insight on the artist's hustle, stay connected to the streets, watch the latest videos, and keep up with the latest news. Come on, ride with EP.
We are finally here. Stripped. This is not about me stripping. This is not about me being a stripper. This is about me being stripped and showing y'all the real Brittany. This definitely been a long journey, and I know everybody has been in some type of relationship that the person you really love hurt you. And we've all been through obstacles in our life. We all had little bumps in the road. We all been hurt before, and we all been happy before. Follow me on this journey of being stripped. Stripping away all the pain, stripping away from people, stripping away from things in my life that I know that's not good for me. Finally free. Stripped. I'll be driving, taking her to places around Houston, to places that I done grew up at, places that I maybe worked at, you know, just a little bit about me so y'all can get to know me better, and also EP and her team can get to know JB better.
So right now we're headed to 5th Ward.
5th Ward, Texas.
Born and raised?
Born and raised, yes. Well, I actually grew up in 5th Ward. I went to NACU Henderson. I lived in Coke Apartments. Donation. There you go.
All right.
Y'all know who this is?
Do y'all know who I am?
Y'all know who this is? You do?
Oh, look
Who does? Who knows?
Oh, baby. My grandma. Oh, you know what? We're gonna go by my grandma's house. Yeah. My grandma be on fleek. I was actually just coming to see you, but you wasn't over there, and Diane told me that she was at the Washington.
You know, I have to work. I have to go and go work.
Yeah, so she's crazy too. So y'all gotta get ready for her. She's a whole different situation. But yeah, I grew up in Coke Apartments. My daddy stayed on Market Street. I went to NACU Henderson Elementary, and then we ended up moving by the time I got to middle school. Yeah. I went to Jesse Jackson Academy for high school. First I went to Worthing, and then I went to Jesse Jackson Academy.
Oh, so you went to Worthing?
Yeah, I went to Worthing, and then I went to a private school, charter school, which was Jesse Jackson Academy. And I lived in these apartments called Royal Palms. We're gonna go by there too, or whatever. And so I kind of just like, you know, maneuver my way up out, you know, that whole realm of hoodness over there, because I mean, growing up in Royal Palms, it's like you seeing everything, like drugs, you know, violence, people, you know, just, you know, coming in and not getting killed, all type of stuff. So it's like at that time, at that moment of time, like that's all, you know, that we could afford at the time. So that's where my mom ended up moving at. But as I got older, I moved out my mom's house when I was 15 years old. I got my own apartment when I was 16. And then my sister and I ended up getting an apartment in Royal Palms. And I waited till she graduated, you know, from school. And then we ended up moving.
Because you graduated early, right?
I graduated at 16, yes. And my little sister and I, we both graduated valedictorian. So, you know, it was a great accomplishment. And then I ended up just, you know, after I was so, like, in the house all the time, because all we knew was school and home. Like, I didn't even know that it was a whole nother side to Houston until, you know, my sister, she had a boyfriend that she was going with, and he was older, and then he had an older sister, and she knew everything. She was like, this when Candy Shop was going, Connections, like all the top clubs, like Big Steve, Captain Jack, they had the clubs like Rocket. And I used to get in that mug for free, like, you know what I'm saying? Me and all my friends, like, you know what I'm saying? The promoters, they had a crush on me, so I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm gonna get all of us in. We're gonna have us a section, bottles, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't really like, we never really had an issue, you know, and me, like, getting in, because the promoters, they, like, love me for some reason. Like, we just used to always go. Every club that they had, we just always went to. And that's where it all started at.
Who put you on music? What's the connection? How did that happen?
I've always knew how to sing, and I've always been an entertainer, let me put it that way.
Okay.
Because my mom used to go to this club a long time ago, and it was called Dion's. And we wasn't old enough, and she hate when I say this, but we wasn't old enough to go to the club, but she kind of used to sneak us in there. And we used to perform on the stage. Me, my sister, my older sister, my younger sister, and I, we used to go in the club, perform. We'll do like TLC, Destiny Child. My little sister, she even used to do like some like male songs and everything. Like, it was crazy. But that kind of like helped me to be even a better like entertainer. Like, once I go back and think about it, like, we even have like videos of everything of us like going and performing and just.
How do you deal with, you know, the business side and the fan side? And
I mean, I deal with my fans with respect, because it's like, for somebody to even have that genuine love for you and they really never met you, is only through like, you know, media or music or pictures or whatever. Like, that really means a lot, and a lot of people don't really get to see that, you know, until they do hang with me or something.
Yeah, because when I met you, it just feels, I don't know, like if I knew you, like I've known you. The music, I know that it's changed. Let's get back to that. I know that it's changed a lot, and not only like your image as well, because it has. I've noticed that as well. And as a woman, here in trying to make it into the industry, writing with somebody who has made it in the industry, what would you tell someone like a woman, an artist that's trying to be like you?
I would say, don't be like me. I would say, be like yourself and try to be the best you that you can, because there's only one you. Like, you can't try to, you know, make yourself try to be somebody else, because you'll never find the real you. You know, you can pick, you know, different things that you like about the person. Like, oh, okay, I like the way she do this. Or, you know, maybe, you know, you like the way she dress or her hair, or, you know, the way she do her makeup and stuff. But, you know, far as a person, I would say, like, try to be the best you that you could possibly be, because you might find people who want to, you know, be like you in a certain type of way. And you have to tell them the same thing, because, I mean, growing up in this society, you know, just with social media and just all the things that's going on, like, you're bound to want to be like the person that you feel like, oh, this person hot at the time, let me try to be like them. It's only one you, so you just got to be the best you that you could possibly be. Once I got older and I started dancing, I became a dancer, because I was going through this bad relationship. I ended up talking to this guy, you know, I was young at the time, and, you know, I was just like doing so much for him. We ended up having dinner, you know, so I hadn't seen him maybe like a week or so, because, like I said, we was into it. So I hadn't seen him. Okay, so by this time I was just Brittany at this time. So I hadn't seen him in like a week. So we had dinner at Grand Lux, and, you know, he got his poker face on, and I got my, you know, real face on. Like, okay, you know, what's going on? So I'm like, yeah. So I heard that you and this person was in the club together, and I heard that y'all was here or whatever. So he was like, don't be asking me no questions, you know, da 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 da. So, you know, he kind of like buried it and made me feel like, okay, you know what, cool. Like, I'm not gonna question you. I'm not gonna ask you no questions. You know, like, I trust you, so I'm not gonna even second guess or third guess or think that you're doing something different than that. So, anyways, we left. So I get in his car, and you know, I'm about to go. I'm happy. I'm like, all right, I just, hey, we good, whatever. And I see a camera, and I'm like, oh, let me grab this, look at some pictures. And I look at some pictures. I go to the camera, and I seen a picture of him and her on the camera. And I just took the camera and I threw it against his glass and shut his front window. And it just wasn't good from there. So I just like, oh, so really, like, things people was telling me, like, you know, y'all was like hanging out or whatever the case may be, and not just on some friend shit. Like, what, you know, what's really going on? After that happened, we just kind of like I was still dancing, so I had this song on the radio. Like, that's when Call Me For That Good was on the radio. Like, and I had just, you know, signed a deal with like Cash Money. So I was really like between a rock and a hard place. And at this point in time, like, they literally kind of like just more so like came out with it, like, you know, everywhere I would see them places, you know what I'm saying? My feelings was kind of like really, really hurt or whatever. And I was like, you know what, I got this deal, I'm about to move to Miami. So I ended up like moving out of town to Miami, and, you know, that kind of like made me feel like, okay, well, look, I had to get away from this situation because my heart isn't too involved, and I was very sensitive, so I just couldn't take seeing none of that type of stuff. And then the girl who, you know, her and the guy who we was both dating the same guy, like, they started hanging together, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like everything had kind of like turned against me. And you know, I moved out of town, but then I couldn't even stay out of town that long, because I'm just like, man, like, I really miss him. And he called me, and we kind of like talked about the situation. And then I came back to Houston, and the girl, she was like really explaining to me like what the situation was. Like, we had a fighting, everything. Like, this really went, like, I was so heated after I found out what happened, to where it's like, I was like, I was like, you know, I went up to the club because she was a dancer too. So I went up to this other club. I went up to Dreams, and I was sitting there, and you know, I had my clothes on and everything. I was like, I ain't tell my sister nobody because my sister them crazy, so they don't play behind this. She don't play behind her sister. So I went up there, and Malaya had walked up to me, and she was like, Brittany, what's wrong with you? Like, you know, you look mad. I'm like, nothing wrong, whatever. So I knew her and the other girl was coming back from the club. So I waited for them to come back from the club, and I seen them, and they walked in the dressing room. I'm like, okay, they here now. So I seen them, and I went to the dressing room, and you know, I kind of like asked her a question. She kind of got like a little fly, and I just like, you know, I just kind of like blanked out. So some type of way, my sister was behind me. I didn't even call her or nothing. It was just like my whole like team of everything was like behind me. I'm just like,
wait a minute. You said blanked out, so you were
fighting, right?
Okay.
I was young at this time. I'm definitely not gonna.
She said I grew up, so
I grew up like, but I'm taking y'all through the stages of my life. So anyways, after that, it just like got worse. Like it just ended up just getting worse and worse and better and better. So that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna move out of town. So I moved to Miami. I got to deal with Baby. You know, my song's #1 on the radio.
Yeah,
everything
like
was going on.
Billboard, right?
Yeah, it hit Billboard. Like my Baby flew me out to Miami. We shot the video. I brought all like 13 of my friends out of town. I flew them out of town. All expense paid trip. All of this and all of that. Like it was just on and popping. You know, so but I still had a piece of me missing, and I still wasn't happy with everything that I had going on. I wasn't happy, so that's why I wanted to bring my friends in on, you know, what I had going on, because I'm like, you know, I don't want to share this by myself. Like I want to be able to share this with my friends. I want to be able to show y'all different things in life, because you know, somebody else showing me something different in life. Right now we are where I grew up at. We are in Coke Apartments, 5th Ward, Texas, and this is where I was raised in. Let's see if I can shoot some basketball.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't no basketball player. I'm a singer, but I'm not doing a little song. You feel me?
Hey.
So how did you feel to come back?
You're welcome, baby. You're welcome. It feels good. I mean, I haven't been here probably like 5 or 6 years. The last time I was here, I think it was for Christmas, and we was giving away blankets and toothbrushes and, you know, just all type of toiletries and stuff that I feel like people needed.
I'm in 5th Ward, baby. In the hood. Coke Apartment, baby. 5th Ward.
For your cousin Wayne, for your uncle Wayne.
Oh, yeah, I'm Wayne, baby. 5th Ward, baby. Get me good. 213. I'm next to become a rapper. Yeah. 213 Backstreet.
She was 56 years old for her to get out there and play like that? Oh yeah, that's what's up. I ain't never seen no person at 56 play like that. The Brick by Coke Apartments. You will always be remembered. 5th Ward, Texas.
I want to hear that Mama Should Have Told Me. Could you do some?
You want to play it?
No, I want to hear you. Could you do it? Do you? Because it's different when you hear it with music in the background, and then it's different when you hear it coming from that person.
And go, well, Zero's on the hook or whatever, and I'll just sing a little bit of my verse. Go, if Mama would've told me not to trust these niggas, then I wouldn't have started wilding out and fucking with these bitches. I learned you can't call a stripper your best friend. We was working at Platinum City, I was giving you my ends. Had to pay my mama rent, had to take care of my shit.
Mama would've told me there be plotting assholes that be smiling up in your face while they still in your dough. If Mama would've told me there be backstabbing friends when you can't do no more for them, then they gone with the wind. If Mama would've told me, if Mama would've told me,
if Mama would've told me not to trust these niggas, then I wouldn't have started wilding out and fucking with these bitches. I learned you can't call a stripper your best friend. We was working at Platinum City, I was giving you my ears. Had to pay my mama rent, had to take care of my shit, and I was getting used by these toes and I ain't realize it. First fell in love when I was only 16, but back then I didn't know what it meant. Then I fell in love with the money. I was all about my business. I was young and wanting attention. Mama said slow down, I wouldn't listen. One thing she said, don't open your legs to every girl you meet. Respect is everything. But I learned the hard way, even though mama warned me. Mistakes turned into lessons that I learned along the journey. And I walked for some miles, but I hold my head proud. Because mama always told me to kill him with a smile.
Oh. Hey.
I've been having shows all this week. But yeah, like, I mean, basically the whole story that I just told y'all, I just put it in a verse.
Hey, that's deep though. Thank you.
My mom is still in my life. My
You're
dad
just independent.
My dad, not too much. We can go to my dad's house too. Actually, he stays on Market Street, Kelly Court. Yeah. So I wanted my dad to be there a lot. I think if my dad was there, I wouldn't have tried to find love in men that I was missing from him.
Okay, so he wasn't in the picture?
He wasn't in the picture. I wanted him to be at my kindergarten graduation so bad. So after my graduation, I just went to his house and sat on his steps. And he wasn't there. I just sat there.
I'm sorry. You gonna make me cry. Stop. Have you talked to him about that?
Yeah, I mean, I go by his house, and go see him every now and then. But, I mean, my dad, he was just like a little rolling stone.
Oh, okay.
I think he got, like, a lot of kids. So, I have, like, brothers and sisters that I don't even know about. But, I mean, that's life, though. That's why it's so important for dads to be in their little girls' lives, because you can help her miss out on so many mistakes that she really don't have to make by just being there and empowering her and telling her how beautiful she is and showing her real love, and to make her standards go high. So she like, well, shoot, if my dad could treat me like this, then anybody who come in my life should be able to treat me like this or better. You know what I mean? A lot of girls, they don't have a dad and they don't even know how a man's supposed to treat you. They don't know what you're supposed to accept and what you're not supposed to accept from a man. A lot of girls be thinking just because a guy say he love you, that he loves you. And
Somebody got to show me the way in. They got the love show.
Yeah, they.
Popsy here got his.
and I hear music, but nobody is answering the door. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know. They need that from you. They need that love, that care, that protection, so they can know how they're supposed to be really treated.
People said knock him in.
Try again.
Knock together. Let me see. Come on, babe.
I know many young ladies are looking at you. Just stay true and keep being a great role model. Hello, how y'all doing? Yep. Hello, how y'all doing? I used to. Oh, okay. Yeah, me and my sisters and my family used to stay in this apartment.
And this one person right?
Number 10, yes, right here. Yeah.
Well, we got to get a little picture on and stuff.
Okay. No, we on our way. Yeah.
So how did it feel when you went, okay, for instance, whenever you got the release or whatever, they didn't even try to work with you? They didn't try to say, hey, look, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this work. We're going to...
That's the only reason why I did it, because I'm thinking like, okay, well, if I ask for release, maybe they'll try to, say, okay, look, we're going to work it out, we're going to do this. But, I mean, it's kind of like, they was like, well, shit, You want to get released? All right, bye.
Okay, and then when you saw Nikki, what was your reaction?
Nikki was shooting a video. She was shooting a video with, what's his name? Sean Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
When they had like the little pink wigs on, and it was in LA. I was on the bus with Baby. They were shooting that video. I couldn't understand thinking it. I forgot the song name. But she was working, so I really didn't get to say too much to her. But I met her on a whole nother side. We was at the X Games in Austin, and I met her with one of my friends who works in Meeks Mill's camp, and he introduced me to her. And she spoke to me. She gave me a hug. She was real nice. Yeah, like I thought she would probably been like snobbish or something, but she was actually nice, and it made me like love her 100 times more. I don't have a problem with Nikki. Like, she doing her thing. She's the epitome of what every girl in the rap game, what the heights that they trying to get to. So there's no reason to hate on her or dislike her or anything. If anything, you want to learn something from her. That's how I look at things.
Okay. Gotta give it to her. Like, yeah, it sounds like just Brittany song. What was your first reaction? When did you hear it? When did you like, wait, hold up, that sounds like my song?
What's crazy is I first heard it because actually Tony Neal had called me, and he was like, do you hear this song? Like, Rihanna has a song and it's called Bitch Better Have My Money. Like, yo, bitch better have my money. Because I had sent it to him like a year ago. Like, hey, this is one of my new songs. I want him to help me push it. And I heard the song and I was like, dang, like, they do sound familiar, but I don't feel like that, she herself actually, like, went and said, oh, let me get another song like another artist. When you're an underground artist, a lot of times they say they say good artists take and great artists steal. They got a book called that.
Wow.
So, I'm a fan of Rihanna's. I have no problem with her at all, but, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, well, shit, just throw me on the remix or something,
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But the media try to make it and play it in so many different type of ways, So I don't really trip about it. I know if I can make one hit to make people want to, I can make another. And that's been happening in Houston for Houston artists for a long time. They always like taking our style and, reinventing and making it their own. And sometimes, like, when you from Houston, they be like, oh, you always on there drinked up and screwed up. But then other people do it, and it's, like, new to them, and they think it's cool. And it's just, like, I don't be understanding it. So that's why I got my own lane, doing my own thing. And I'm a trendsetter, so I don't have to follow trends. I am the trend.
Right. Okay.
Me slow. He ain't scared to go low. He know how to take control. Real nigga, that's for sure. Yeah, we riding around and we getting it. He turned around and fitted. Got his face all in it. About to get down to business. Hold on, baby, don't get up. Phone on solid, don't pick up. My hand all on your zipper. Got me wetter than flipper. You lost that seat like skipper. Shaking like the coldest winter. Sipping on all this liquor. I could be your private stripper. When I'm on top, on top. He like the way I ride the D. Don't stop, don't stop. I like the way you driving me. When I'm on top, on top. He like the way I ride the D. Don't stop, don't stop. I like the way you driving me. Drive it real slow, baby. Speed it up, make me go crazy. The 808 got me shaking. Damn boy, you the fucking greatest. We ride around and we getting it. You turn around and fit it. Got your face all in it. This is just the beginning. Hold on, baby, don't get up. Phone on solid, don't pick up. My hand all on your zipper. Got me wetter than flipper. You lost that seat like skipper. Shaking like the coldest winter. Sipping on all this liquor.
back, put the tab in my butt, so he call it booty crack. That's that freaky shit. Crack a jack, he get the prize when he hit my clit. Cake mix, Betty Crocker when he beat that shit. Superwoman powers when it's time to rock that dick.